So we are doing pronouns. Okay? We are doing the pronouns. And we said there are 9 different types of pronoun, and we are going to do the first one. And the first is the personal pronoun. So pronoun is a word used instead of a noun. So instead of using the noun, instead of using Ram came late and Ram will be coming tomorrow, Ram doesn't work, you use pronouns instead of using Ram. You will say he or him, whatever. Now, we are going to do the first of its kind. What is the first kind of pronoun? Personal pronoun. The first one is personal. Personal pronouns. There are 9 types, and we are doing the first of its kind, and that is personal pronouns. Now, what are these personal pronouns? Personal pronoun stands for 3 persons, the first, second, and the third. So, the personal pronoun stands for personal pronouns stands for three persons. Now, what are these 3 persons? The first, then you have the second, and then we have and the third. And the third. So we have 3 persons. First person, second person, third. There are 3 persons. First, second, and the third. So personal pronouns. Pronouns have 9 separate divisions, and we are doing the first of its kind. Personal pronoun stands for 3 persons. First person, second person, and third person. So we are doing the first person. Okay? The first person pronoun, which refers to the person or persons speaking, are in the first person. So we are talking about the first, A. First person. Personal pronouns, the first person, the first person. And let's say in the first person what we talk about. The pronouns which refers, the pronouns which refer to the first person or persons. Person or persons. Person or persons speaking in the first person. Speaking, you're talking about something. Speaking in the first person. Speaking in the first person. And that is supposed to be the first personal pronoun. Now, for example, when you say the first person, we say, examples are, we will say I, me, we, us, or ours, mine, all that. So we are talking about the first person. And in the second person, what is the meaning? Be. What we are talking about in the second person. The second person. The second person. Let's see. The second person, what does it mean? The pronouns which refers the pronouns. Pronouns which refer. The pronoun which refer to the person or persons, to the person or persons, person or person spoken to. Spoken to are in the second person. Are in the second person. Spoken to. And the examples are, and here the examples are, what the examples we have here. You, yours, spoken to. So, talking to you, yours. Then you have thou, thee, etc. So, the persons, the pronouns which refers to the person or persons spoken to. Spoken to. Here, speaking to. Person or persons speaking to, first person, and the second is spoken to. And let's see in the third. In the third person, let's see. The third person. The third person. What's happening to the third person? The pronouns which refer, the pronouns which refer to the person or thing. The person or thing spoken about or thing spoken about are said to be the third person, are said to be the third person. And examples of this are, what are the examples of this third person? Examples of the third persons, okay? What are the examples of third person? He, they, whole lot there is they, she, it, him. Then we have her, them, his, its, and so on. Now, let's look at all the three persons. We are talking about pronoun. The pronoun has 9 divisions, 9 kinds of pronoun. And the first of it that we are doing, the first is the personal pronoun. The personal pronoun stands for 3 persons. The first person, the second person, and the third. When you say the first person, the pronouns refer to the first person or persons speaking in the first person. Example, I am talking about I am talking me, we, us, are. They are all of the first person. In the second person, the pronouns which refer to the person or person spoken to is supposed to be, we are talking to somebody. And for that we say you, yours, thou, thee. Those are the things we have used. Okay. When you say though, thou, that is all in the modern English. Okay. And the third person, what about the third person? The pronouns which refers to the person or thing spoken about. First is myself. Second is spoken to, second person. Third is spoken about, are said to be the third person pronoun. For example, third person, he, they, she, it, him, her, them, his, its. Now, all these may look complicated, difficult. The first person you are talking about is speaking to. Spoken to somebody, that will be you, yours, and all that. And the last one is spoken about. Now, all these may look different. We will do some exercises for us to understand the first person, second person, and third person of the personal pronouns. Now I'll show you a small tabulation. First person, second, third person for singular and plural, and how we use, and also we will do later some small exercise to understand better. Now persons. We're talking about personal pronoun. For now, we're going to talk person, first person. We're talking about the first person, singular. First person. When you say first person singular, you will say I, will say we, I, me, mine. Me, mine. First person singular. Then when you say first person plural, when you say first person plural, we'll say we, us, and ours. Just for you to remember all this. And in the second person, in the second person singular, we say you for, and again you will say for you, or you can say your, yours. And in the plural form, you will say you, whether it is more, one or many, you say the same thing. You, yours, yours. Your and yours. And in the third person singular, you would use, the third person singular, you will say he or she, then you will say him or her. And then you will also say his, hers, his, hers. You will also say it for the singular. Again, for it, you will say its. When you say plural, in the plural form, you will say they, because there's more than one. they, them, theirs. These are all words, but when we do this in the sentence, you will understand better. In the personal pronoun, first person, singular will say I, we, this book is mine, and things like that. In the plural, we'll say we, us, ours, etc. And then in the second person singular, you'll say you, yours, things like that. Plural form, again, you used to use your, yours, okay. Then in the third person singular form, he, she, him, her, his, hers. And in the plural form, they, them, theirs. These are single words for us to understand singular, plural, what for the first, second, third person, what is used. We will do exercise for us to understand better these first, second, and third personal pronouns.